Hello everyone, welcome back to Solo Leveling Rise. You guys already know what it is that we're going to be showing the day 7 progression as far as how well you should be doing in the game. And remember guys, it really depends on the kind of weapons that you're getting, the SSR characters that you might be getting, your luck as far as your artifacts. There are a little bit of variables as far as how well you can do, but this will be pretty close to where you should be on day 7. Maybe you'll be a little bit behind, maybe you'll be a little bit ahead. It really just depends, but this is a free-to-play account. But as always, you start off in your challenges, and we should be able to finish this today because I still do have one key and I can actually get another key from the shop here. Once I finish my mining, I'll get up to 60 of these and I should be able to buy one more key and finish that challenge, which will be very, very nice. And then we'll be able to move all the way up to where we get to the encore missions. And this is probably where we're going to get stuck, because we take a look at the encore missions here. If this thing ever stops loading, which is always fun, you take a look at the encore missions. We have no keys. We're not going to have enough mana to buy you more keys. So that's pretty much where we're going to get stuck. Now, as far as the story mode, I've actually up to chapter 13. I'm 64% progress through the normal mode. I'm 27% through the hard mode, which is pretty phenomenal. And something that I want to note is at chapter 11, the Ice Slayer King, where you fight Baruka, this guy was actually quite the pain facing on the Canadian version of the game, but it seems like he's a lot easier on the global version of it. It seems like on the Canadian version they were penalizing players for having under the power limit of what was recommended, whereas on the global version it seems like they have actually fixed that to where now you can actually be under the power and still do really, really well in these game modes, which really makes me very happy, because that means that you can actually use more skill to get it done instead of just being strictly penalized for being under the power limit. So I'm really, really happy with that. But if you guys are having problems with Baruka, let me know down in the comments. Now, the other thing that was unlocked today, or the thing that was unlocked, is our extra slots for our artifacts. These here were unlocked. This is going to add an insane amount of power on your characters, which is awesome. So for Jin Woo, we want to stick with the expert set. We want to find more expert. Now, because this just got unlocked, we have no artifacts, and you're going to be able to get these artifacts from Igris. All right, so if we jump back in here again, if we ever get done loading here in the instant dungeon against Igris, you're going to be able to get those particular artifacts, which is very, very nice, guys. That is nice, right? Oh well, you can get these here as well, but those last two slots are going to be for Igris. So you want to start farming on this today on day 7, try to get it done. So when I get that extra key for the instant dungeon, this is exactly where I'm going to start farming to try to get more of those materials so we can increase our battle power, so that way we can keep progressing. The next thing that was unlocked today was a blessing. Now, we actually have a blessing slot unlocked. This is actually really, really cool. You're going to have this blessing right here that has the damage you take will decrease by 20% when you have 30% or less of your maximum HP. This is something that makes you a little bit tankier when you get low on your HP. And then you have this one here, which is the one you should have equipped, at least in my humble opinion, because it kind of gives you an undead passive where if your HP falls to 1, you become immortal for 4 seconds. You won't take any damage for that 4-second period, and then you'll just gain a nice amount of heal, which is very, very cool, guys. This is really going to help your survivability. It pretty much gives you a second chance. I find that I have a lot more luck with this blessing than this blessing. And speaking of blessings, you can actually farm for these things. There's actually a way to queue them up, and that's by clicking on Fusion here and jumping down to this guy right here. You see Blessing Stone Powder, and you see Skill Rune Fragments. So you're going to acquire these materials for your runes, for your skills, to bump them up, to change them, to add effects, and then you're going to get these Blessing Stones, which can actually also affect. And all you got to do is hit Fuse or Simple Fuse. Simple Fusion is if you have a whole bunch of these things, you want to just do them all at once, like 3 or 4 of them all at once. You can. Fuse just does 1 at a time. We only got 50 of these materials, so boom shakalaka. And this blessing, let's see what you got. And this is RNG as far as what you get. As your attack is enhanced, the danger you face will increase as well. So when your attack hits, your attack increases by 2% for 10 seconds, but the attack of your target that was hit also increases by 2%, stacking it to 4 times. So you're increasing your damage, but you're also increasing their damage. Honestly, not a very good blessing, in my opinion. Kind of got shafted on that. And when you want to do runes, it's the same thing, guys. We can hit Simple Fusion, and we can just do them all at once, or just do these 2 at once and see what we get. I actually got an Almighty Break from here, which is nice. This here is cool because it does give critical damage by 20%, but a lot of you guys already know that we did get a blessing yesterday that I can show you here in a little bit that's much better than this one. This one here, I mean, the critical rate is nice when you use the skill, You get that critical rate by 7%. For Gen Wu, this is actually really, really good. But again, guys, there's no break, and I really prefer to use runes with break on my Gen Wu. I prefer that much more. So we can go to the skill page, guys, and I can show you the blessings. You see that purple one? This is the blessing that we got actually yesterday. It has heavy break. It actually can give you critical hit damage by 30% for 10 seconds. This is actually a very, very good blessing, and this is actually a very good skill. Very nice for that break and the fact that it can actually give you that extra damage. The reason that I'm not using it, I'm actually still using this, is because it's a lot shorter, it's a lot faster, and it has almighty break as well, and it just does insane damage along with that CC. So I prefer to use this one, even though this one here actually will give you more damage. And so I might be doing some testing with this in the future, but it's a really great rune, guys. Really awesome that they gave us this for free just from logging in, so I'm really happy with that thing. So your objective today is just keep moving in your challenges, start farming in the instant dungeon against Igris so you can get these last 2 slots for your artifacts, and that way you can add a whole bunch more battle power and get an extra set effect for your boy and for your hunters as well. So we're going to go ahead and do a nice little summons, guys. Now I am going to pay for 1 summon just for the video, guys. Not a big deal. We're just going to go ahead and pay, and you can see that I've already done 2 summons for Cha already on this free-to-play account because she is an awesome character. She is a god tier character, and I'm only using these free summons so far. I said in the last video that I'm actually waiting until the last day of her event before I decide to actually use my essence. I didn't actually specify that in the last video, but that's what I meant to say, is that I won't use my essence until the very last day to see what's actually going to be, you know, coming up in the next event. But if you're getting these free ones, guys, which you are, you should have 20 of these summons. You have 23 of them by now, or at least 20 by now on day 7. It doesn't hurt to go ahead and go for it. And honestly, I would definitely go for her over I would Beck. For sure, guys, definitely. So we're going to go ahead and do this one right here. I only have 9, but we're just going to go ahead and spend 1. Why not? It's not a big deal. We're just, you know, 250. I can live with that, guys. It's not a big deal, right? That's the only time I've spent any essence on my banners so far on this free-to-play account in the first week. All right, now we're not going to get anything, but hopefully we can get a copy of somebody. That would be really, really nice. I mean, you never know. You might get an SSR, but I doubt it. I mean, it's, yeah. So we got an SR, and we got an SR character. All right, so that's actually pretty cool. So I've already got a copy of her, and I was actually thinking about leveling her up because she does have break. And whenever she does level up, she makes the enemy immobilize, which is pretty cool. So we got some CC whenever this is leveled up, whenever enemies are in the poisonous zone. So wow, the little CC along with the break that's built in her kit. So that's definitely something to think about. And so this is definitely something for me to consider. But again, guys, you really want to watch your gold. You really want to watch putting your resources in these characters. And again, I'm just focusing on, you know, these main 6 characters right here, and they've been getting it done for me. They've been doing very well. As much as I want to level up these other characters, and I eventually will, I'm going to try to get to it eventually, but it's a rough road. As you all know, when you're free to play, you don't want to spend your resources. You really want to conserve on these things as much as possible. And something else that I want to mention to you guys is that you will get that scythe weapon for Gen Wu. You will get this weapon for free. You'll get this guy here for free. You're absolutely going to get that thing because if you jump into the challenges, all right, if we jump into the challenges, let me see here, 9, there it is, 9. So at chapter 9, you're going to get the scythe weapon for free. They did the same thing as what they did in the Canadian version. You're going to get this thing, but it's just going to take you a little bit. So you really want to conserve your resources for this thing. This is a god tier weapon, guys. It's so powerful. Even at A1 or even at A0, it's such a great weapon to have. It does tons and tons of hits. And for Gen Wu, since he crits so much, having a whole bunch of hits is massive for that character. So you're going to get this eventually, guys. We're almost there. We should be able to finish chapter 8 hopefully in the next couple days. So hopefully we'll be getting this really, really soon within the next day or 2. For me, it's going to be a copy, but for you, it's maybe your first weapon or your first SSR weapon, and you absolutely want to equip this and start working on it. And you're going to find that that thing makes a huge, huge difference for your Gen Wu. So guys, hopefully you're all doing well in the game. Let me know if you guys need any help with Baruka, and I do stream on Twitch and YouTube. Link to Twitch in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.